Hi, I'm Gabby Coletta. Welcome to Red Rock Canyon in the desert. Today's practice is one of invoking air and ether elements, playing with the qualities of movement, transition, spaciousness, but doing so in a way in which we can ground into presence. There's a fundamental law of nature that things are constantly in flux, in shift, in beginnings, middles, and ends, and rebirths. And we have a human tendency to want to solidify things, to concretize things, or once we have labeled it, we define it and have a fixed identity to it. But the law of nature tells us that nothing is truly stable or truly fixed. Things are always dynamic and shifting and changing. Even something that looks as stable as this brick is actually tons of tiny, fast-moving atoms. So this is a practice of learning to embrace that, embracing change, transition, and the fundamental fluidity of life. We'll be doing lots of hip and hamstring work, so you might want some bricks. We'll start slow to keep us grounded, and you can meet me in either Shavasana or reclined butterfly pose. If you're coming to reclined butterfly, bring the soles of the feet together, let the knees fall out towards the long edges of the mat. For a little bit of support so there's not gripping in the hip creases, you can place bricks or pillows outside of the thighs. Just lower yourself onto the earth. Your hands can rest anywhere that feels comfortable for you. On the side, maybe one hand to one belly and heart. Take a moment to settle into your supported pose, back body held by earth. Grounding element, stability. Take a big arrival breath and inhale to fill up. And a complete exhale to settle the bones. Let the muscles soften, the earth support you. And 2 more arrival breaths as you inhale. Start to create space with the breath. Notice where you feel the breath, if you feel it. And as you exhale, let the breath empty out, practicing letting go, trusting the next breath to come. 1 more arrival breath. Breath as the bridge between mind and body, bringing us into present as you inhale. As you exhale, release any tension in the muscles, any gripping or tightening. Let the bones settle. Start to deepen the breath in through the nose and out through the nose if possible. Slow the breath down. Start to iron it out. And see if you can send the breath to any tired parts of the body, sore parts, or anywhere that needs a little extra prana, life force. Can you make the exhales a little bit longer, really emptying out, clearing? This art of aparigraha, non-grasping that we practice with breath. So even here we get to witness the way the breath moves through cycles, through beginnings, middles, and ends. A letting go to make space for new arrival. If there's an intention you want to set for your practice, a sankalpa or a heart vow, feel free to set that now. Let your intention settle. Notice where your hands are resting. If your knees are butterflied out, go ahead and use the support of your hands to close the knees together like you're closing a book. Plant the soles of the feet on the earth, about hips width apart. You can move your bricks off to the side so they're out of the way. Knees are bent, feet are close to the sit bones. Take your feet even wider, as wide as the mat. Take the arms up overhead, big inhale here. As you exhale, drop your knees to the right and reach over to the left. Kind of like you're wiggling out of the waist, getting some length and twist. Inhale, knees come through center, navel draws to spine. As you exhale, let the knees drop to the left, reach over to the right. Move a few times side to side on your own breath, letting the knees traverse through center, swaying to one side. And back through center, swaying to the opposite side. Come back to center. And then keeping your left leg bent, go ahead and bring the right sole of the foot to the sky. Find half happy baby. So you can grab outer edge of the right foot, the ankle, the calf. Any low back pain, keep your left leg bent. Otherwise, extend your left leg long, heavy to the earth. Flex the foot so the sole of the foot is awake. You can even place your left hand on the hip to usher it down. Take a couple breaths here, relax the jaw. As the foot presses into sky, the knee sinks towards armpit. One more breath in half happy baby. Start to straighten the leg a little bit in front of you, finding a hamstring stretch. Now you can walk the hand up the leg or maybe towards the knee, whatever will support the stretch. Keep wrapping your outer right hip down, both feet flexed. Every inhale, breathe. Every exhale, draw the leg a little bit closer, just waking up the hamstring. Take your left hand to the outer edge of the leg, right thumb to the hip crease, press your right outer hip down. As you exhale, start to guide the right leg over, only as long or as far as you can keep the sacrum on the earth, the low back. So we're going for a little stretch in the outer seam of the right leg, the IT band. Relax the shoulders. And we'll take this into a supine twist of choice. You can either bend the right leg into a 90-degree bend or keep it straight. Let the right knee fall all the way towards the earth. Right hand can come to a half cactus or a half T. Take a spacious breath to the right side body, lungs, open heart. And a full exhale, just letting the right shoulder grow heavy. Slowly come back to center. Give your right knee a little squeeze towards the armpit. And then release the right sole of the foot to the ground. Bend the left leg, left sole of the foot to the ground so both knees are bent, back to neutral spine. And then take your left sole of the foot to the sky for half happy baby. Again, you can grab outer edge of the foot, ankle, calf. As long as there's no pain in the low back, you can go ahead and extend right leg, heavy to earth, flex the foot. Couple breaths here, let the back body melt to the earth. Relax the jaw, the tongue, the muscles in the face. One more breath here. Start to guide the left leg towards the midline, straightening the leg in a gentle way. So to your capacity, still waking up the hamstrings. Again, you can walk the hand down the leg, keep a little micro bend, and really use the exhale to start to encourage the leg towards your heart. Just waking up back of leg, hamstrings. Keep both feet flexed and active. Take your left thumb to the hip crease, left hip crease, right hand to the outer edge of the left leg. Start to draw your left leg towards the right, going for that IT band stretch, that outer seam stretch, so low back and sacrum stay grounded. Can you breathe into sensation? Then when you're ready, take this into your supine twist, either a 90-degree bend in the left leg or keep it straight, yogi's choice. Left hand can come to a half T or a half cactus. Take a big, spacious breath. As you exhale, let your left shoulder grow heavy. Slowly come back to center. Hug the left knee in towards the armpit, little squeeze. And then release left sole of the foot down. Bend the right knee, gather both knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. You can rock side to side or forward and back, maybe some sacrum circles. But take about the next 3 breaths to slowly make your way into a table pose. No rush to arrive. You can rock and roll the whole length of the spine if that feels supportive. Once you get there, spread the hands, stack shoulders over wrists, hips over knees, even anchor the shins to the earth. On your next inhale, draw the heart forward, lift the chin, the gaze, let the collarbones broaden. And then exhale to round the back, drop the head heavy, cat pose. Start to move forward and back, opening front of heart, back of heart, maybe inviting ujjayi breath. So that gentle constriction in the back of the throat, almost like you're fogging up a mirror. Really spread the hands. You can stay with cow and cat here or invite any free movement, that element of sahaja, spontaneous wiggles. You can C-curve the spine, sway the hips side to side. About 3 breaths to just follow your intuitive wisdom. Come back to your neutral spine. Knit the low ribs in slightly, let the crown of the head get nice and long. Send your right leg long and back, tuck the toes on the earth, rock forward and back. Just a little stretch for the wrists, opening the sole of the right foot, back of right leg. Lift the right leg up, keep drawing the low belly in. On your next inhale, sweep the right leg all the way out to the right to hover. Exhale to sweep it back, tuck the toes on the earth, look over left shoulder. We'll do that twice more. Open up. Try to keep even weight in both hands. Exhale, sweep the leg back. Look over left shoulder. Once more, sweep the leg all the way out to the right. And take it back. This time, sweep your right leg all the way out to the right. Plant it down on the earth in line with the left knee. Hips square towards the earth. Walk your hands long in front of you for modified puppy pose. Inhale here. Then exhale, melt your heart towards the earth. Maybe the chin comes down or the forehead. Keep pressing the right sole of the foot into the earth. One more breath. Lift the torso up slightly. Slide your right forearm onto the earth or on a brick and walk your left fingers to the top right corner for a side stretch. Take a big inhale, let the left ribs fan open. As you exhale, pull the left sit bone back a little bit. Stay for another breath. Be with sensation. Listen carefully. Transition on your next inhale. Sweep the left arm all the way out to the left. It'll come off your mat lightly. Right arm to sky for supported side plank. Stay here or float your right leg up for a little quarter moon. Try to stack shoulders in one line. Keep your right foot flexed. Reach your right arm up over your head. So long line of side energy. On your exhale, elbow to knee, crunch it in. And reach it long. Twice more, elbow to knee, draw it in. Reach it long. Once more, elbow to knee. Reach it long. Release right sole of the foot down. Walk your hands forward. We'll make our way back to table. Right leg lifts up. Send it long and back behind you. Exhale, knee to nose as you round in. Drop the knee, unfurl into cow pose. Exhale into cat. Come back to your neutral table. On your next breath, send the left leg long and back. Tuck the toes on the earth. Start to rock forward and back. A little wrist love again. Opening left sole of foot. Connection to earth. Ability to ground, even when we have to move through experiences or uncertainty. Lift your left leg up. Next inhale, open up. Swing it out to the left. Even weight in both hands. Exhale, sweep the left leg back. Tuck the toes on the earth. Look over right shoulder. We'll do that twice more. Open up the hip. Exhale, sweep it back. Once more, open up. And sweep it back. Open your left leg all the way out to the left. Plant the sole of the foot on the earth in line with the right knee. Hips square to your mat. Walk the hands long in front of you for half puppy pose. Big inhale here. Exhale, melt your heart down. Keep pressing the left sole of the foot into the earth. Find a little buoyancy and lift under the armpits. One more breath. in this pose. Come up slightly, ground your left forearm down on the earth or a brick. Walk your right fingers to the top left corner for a side stretch. Big inhale into the right ribs, let them fan open. Exhale to pull right sit bone back in space, ever so slightly. One more breath, opening side body, side of heart. On your exhale, sweep your right arm all the way out to the right, probably coming off of your mat. Left arm sweeps up for your supported side plank. Breathe here, shoulders stacked in one line and drawing away from the ears. Option to float your left leg up, foot is flexed. Reach your left arm over the head, take a big breath in this long line of energy, and then exhale, elbow to knee, and extend. Twice more, elbow to knee, extend. Last one, elbow to knee, extend. Plant the left sole of the foot down if you took that variation, and then sweep the hands in front of you, setting up for your table return. Lift the left leg, take it long and back. Exhale, knee to nose, round in, round the spine. Drop the knee, unfurl, heart open into cow pose, collarbones broad. Exhale into cat, head heavy. Come back to your neutral table. Pause. Tuck the toes and take your hips over your heels. Drape your torso up, yogi toe stretch. Make sure all 10 toes are getting some love, helping us with our balance and our grounding as we move through transitions. And then take your arms out to a T. Right thumb wraps down, loop the arm behind the back for a half bind. You can either clasp the hands on the left ribs as you drop left ear to left shoulder, or take a half bind. Big breath into the right side of the neck. Relax the jaw. Bring the head back to neutral. Take it the other way. You could start from the T, wrap the left thumb down this time, either finding your half bind or fingers clasped on the right rib cage. Right ear drops to right shoulder. Notice if any discomfort is arising. Can you ground into being present with what is, knowing that this too is impermanent? Come back to center. Take the hands together, open up into Lotus Mudra, a couple wrist circles here for 3, 2, 1. Other way for 3, 2, 1. Plant the hands, untuck the toes, give them a love tap, release. Make your way to down dog. Hips up and back. As you arrive, 3 breaths are yours to greet your body in any way it needs. You can settle into stillness or tick-tock the heels side to side, maybe elevate the heels and sink them back down. If your shoulders feel tight, take your hands a little wider than shoulder width apart. Space between the pointer and middle finger face forward. Start to ground into the L of the hands. Press the biceps towards each other. On your next inhale, rise to the tippy toes. Exhale, sink the heels down. This time, swivel the heels over to the right, sink the heels down, side stretch as you press into the hands. Come back through center with the heels and take them up and over to the left. Press the hands away in this down dog variation, little side stretch. Come back to center. Inhale, ripple forward into plank. Option to lower to your knees. Here for 3 breaths. If your head is sinking down, press the back of the skull to the sky, 2 breaths. 1 more breath. Lower knees, chest, chin to the earth. Slide onto the belly and untuck the toes. Wide arm Bhujangasana. Come to tent on the fingers, elbows to sky, lift the heart. Exhale, forehead down. Option to add a twist here. Inhale, lift the heart, keep drawing belly in. Exhale, drop left shoulder, look over right. Come back to center, heart lifts. Drop right shoulder, look over left. Come back to center, lift the heart. Release forehead down. Take the hands under your shoulders, press through all 4s, rounding the back through cat pose. Take it into your child's. Big toes touch, knees wide, arms long in front of you. Take a few breaths here. We'll start to build heat, start to explore more movement in our flow, but know that you can always come back to child's pose as a resource, as a place of grounding, of finding breath and presence. As you're ready, make your way to down dog. Hips up and back. Take your feet as wide as the mat, point the toes out, the heels in. Start to sway into the hips, side to side. Maybe a little more hamstring love, getting into any sticky parts of the hips, almost like you're wagging a tail. You can even take this into some circles if you want a little more wrist love, circling the weight forward slightly. And switch directions if you're taking the circles. Come back to neutral, toes still out, but walk the hands towards the feet at the back of the mat. And we'll sink down into Malasana Yogi Squat at the very back of the mat. Knees wide. Press the elbows into the knees, lift the heart. Since it's the first one, you might settle into stillness or you might invite a little wiggles. A little shifting of the weight side to side. One more breath. Release the hands, lift the hips. Start to toe heel your feet towards each other, still at the back of the mat. Feet are about hips width apart. Find your half lift, get nice and long. Exhale, melt your forehead towards shins. Fold inward. Twice more, half lift, nice and long. Draw shoulders down the back, and then exhale, fold. Once more, inhale, half lift. Weight is in the fronts of the feet. Exhale to fold. Take a generous bend in your knees. Press the four corners of the feet into the earth. Start to unravel your spine, stacking vertebrae on vertebrae. Make your way to Tadasana at the back of the mat, mountain. As you arrive, take a moment, pause. Steady your gaze on one spot near the top of the mat. On your next inhale, rise onto your tippy toes, reach your arms up so you're on the balls of the feet, and start to tippy toe your way all the way to the top, just playing with balance. Make your way. Once you get to Tadasana, release the heels down, release the arms. Lift up all 10 toes, really spread them, anchor the four corners of the feet down, release. We'll go through a variation of Surya A. Inhale, reach your arms to the sky, grab onto your left wrist, crescent up and over to the right. Come back to center, take the opposite wrist, up and over, other side. And back to center, cactus the arms, lift the heart as you draw low belly in. Reach the arms back up to the sky, grow tall. Exhale, fold forward, hinge at the hips all the way down to the earth. Find your half lift, nice long spine. Plant the hands, step back into down dog. Option to hold down dog for several breaths or move through a connecting vinyasa. Inhale, ripple forward to plank. You can lower the knees or take a chaturanga, find what works for you. You can come to a low cobra or an up dog, heart opener of choice. We'll all meet in our down dog. 3 breaths. Press the hands down and forward so the side body gets nice and long. Let the heels sink towards the earth. Keep a little softness behind the knees. Stay with your breath. If you are choosing to float forward, think about engaging Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha, so like drawing the navel in and up, and slight lift of the pelvic floor. This will help you get there lighter. Inhale to bend the knees, gaze at the top of the mat. Bottom of the exhale, float or step, yogi's choice to the top, half lift. Exhale to fold. Reverse swan dive, press to the feet, reach all the way up, palms meet. Hands come to heart center, samastitihi. Exact same thing. Inhale, reach up, grab onto your left wrist, crescent up and over to the right. Knit the low ribs in as you pull over, side stretch. Come back to center. Take the opposite wrist up and over to the other side. Really press through the inseam of the feet to get a lift. Come back to center. Cactus the arms. Lift the heart like a string is pulling it up. Draw the low belly in. Reach back to sky, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold forward all the way down. Uttanasana. Half lift, long spine. Plant the hands, step back into down dog, option to hold or rinse through your connecting vinyasa of choice. Plank or knees, chest, chin. Chaturanga. You can come to your low cobra or your up dog. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. 3 breaths. As you inhale, can you expand the breath in all sides of the rib cage? And as you exhale, sink the heels to the earth. Inhale to bend the knees deeply, gaze at the front of the mat. Bottom of the exhale, float or step to the top. Half lift. Exhale, fold, ribs to thighs, forehead towards shin. Reverse swan dive, press through the feet, gather up your presence, reach up. Hands come to heart center, samastitihi. Go ahead and separate your feet, hips width apart. Sink the hips low, graze the fingertips on the earth, reach up, Utkatasana, fierce pose. You can wrap your pinky fingers in to soften the shoulders away from the ears, let the weight sink into the heels. Like you're climbing a rope, imagine you'll start to just pull side to side, shimmying the hips side to side, letting one side of the body get nice and long, and then the other. Still sink the weight into the heels for 3, 2, and 1. Once you're even on both sides, back to your Utkatasana. Exhale to fold. Half lift, long spine. Plant the left hand in front of the face, send the right arm to the sky, twist. Deep bend into the left knee as you straighten the right leg. Relax the shoulders. Option to take a half bind here if that serves you for some heart opening, shoulder opening. Reach the right arm back up if you took that variation. Release. Other side, deep bend into the right knee as you straighten left leg. Reach the left arm to the sky. Find this big wingspan across the heart. Half bind is here if you took it. Unravel and release the hand down. Half lift, long spine. Exhale, plant the hands, step back. Hold down dog, rinse through vinyasa. Take what you need. When you're ready, right leg rises, 3-legged dog. Open up the hips, stack right hip on top of left. You can bend and extend the leg, find some movement. 1 more breath. Square your hips off, big inhale here. Exhale to step the foot between the hands. Rise up to your high lunge. Mindfully, slowly, all 10 toes facing forward, arms lift. Stay for your exhale. Scissor the inner thighs together as you square hips forward. Take another big breath here. Open up warrior 2. Spiral the back heel down. Front heel is in line with the back heel or the arch. Gaze over your front fingers. Let the shoulders open to the long edge, the hips open to the long edge. Flip your front palm up, find reverse warrior. Reach up and back. Stay for your exhale, keep sinking into the front knee. Press it towards the pinky toe edge. Take another spacious inhale into the right ribs. Exhale, Parsva Konasana, extended side angle. Right forearm can come to the inner thigh or the earth or a brick. Left arm can come straight up or towards the front. Pinky finger wraps down. Roll the top shoulder back. Relax the top shoulder away from the ear. Breathe. 1 more breath here. Mindful transition. Release the top hand, both hands down to the long edge of the mat. Rotate your back toes out, Skandasana. Pause. Hands can stay on the earth for the most support, or ground your left hand down. Press the tricep into the leg as you reach right arm up. Open arm twist. Keep a little micro bend in your extended leg. Release top hand down, walk the hands to the front, pivot to face the front, lizard lunge, toe heel your right foot to the side, back knee drops, untuck the back toes. 3 breaths here, you can stay up on your hands, use the bricks to bring the earth up to you. 1 more breath, let the breath be slow, relax the jaw, the tongue. Lift the heart a little bit more. Start to toe heel your right foot in. And then take it into a half splits. Half splits here. You can use the bricks again. Flex the right toes towards you. Lift the heart. Exhale, melt heart towards toes. 2 more breaths. If you want to deepen the sensation, tilt your tailbone back, your pelvis forward. Still keep the softness behind the right knee. 1 more breath. Bend into the front leg. Anjaneyasana. Reach the arms forward and up. Relax the shoulders. You can stay exactly as you are or clasp the hands behind you. Press the knuckles down and lift the heart. Keep squeezing the inner thighs together. Traction the front foot towards the back knee. 1 more breath. Exhale, release the hands down. Move the bricks to the side. Tuck your back toes. 3-legged dog. Right leg rises. Rinse through your vinyasa or skip it. Yogi's choice. We will meet in down dog in a couple breaths. Take what you need. Notice what's surfacing. You pay attention to the mental landscape without fueling or feeding story or narrative. Notice the thought and let it go. Left leg rises, 3-legged dog. Open up the hip, stack left hip on top of right. And again, a couple movements here. Let your intuitive wisdom guide you what you need. Maybe you ground the right sole of the foot down or pull the outer right hip back as the left hip opens. Really reach left leg long, square off the hips. Exhale, step the foot as slow like you're moving through honey, setting up for your high lunge. All 10 toes face forward, lift the arms. Your front shin is straight up and down. Take a big spacious breath here. Heart is lifting. Exhale, open up warrior 2. As you settle into Virabhadrasana 2 on your other side, hips and shoulders are open to the long edge. Soften the shoulders away from the ears, the gaze over the left fingers, flip your front palm up. Find reverse warrior, reach up and back, side body open. Stay for your exhale, sink a little lower. Front hip crease still draws up to sky. 1 more inhale here, exhale, Parshva Konasana. Left forearm to the inner thigh, maybe the earth, a brick, right arm to sky. Again, the hand could go straight up, palm to the long edge, or pinky finger wraps forward and down. Mindful transition into our Skandasana. On your next exhale, release both hands down to the long edge, pivot the back toes out. Pause here. Open arm twist, right hand down, left arm up. Exhale, both hands to the earth. Walk to the front of the mat, pivot all 10 toes forward, lizard lunge. Back knee drops. Hands stay on the inside of the front leg. Again, use the props. They're here to support you to bring some more earth element into transition, movement. So you can bring the hands to bricks if that helps keep the heart open. Or you can take this a little deeper towards the forearms. 1 more breath wherever you're choosing to be, your lizard lunge. Plant the hands. Start to toe heel the left foot towards the midline and then shift the hips back into half splits. Straighten your left leg, flex toes towards you. Couple breaths here. Every inhale, heart lifts. Every exhale, melt your heart towards the toes. Can you spin the outer left hip down so your hips are leveling? Be with sensation and breath. Next, inhale, bend into the front leg, place the bricks to the side, arms sweep forward and up, Anjaneyasana. Option to take your non-habitual clasp behind you. Just rewriting patterns in the body. Press the knuckles back, lift the heart, tone the low belly in. Release the hands. Tuck the back toes, 3-legged dog, left leg sweeps long and back. Rinse through your vinyasa or skip it. We'll meet in a resting pose for you, child's or down dog. Take a big breath to reset. Let the breath go. Walk the hands towards the feet at the back of the mat. Forward fold is where we meet. Take a big bend in the knees. Peace fingers loop around the big toes. Inhale, lengthen the spine, find traction. And as you exhale, forward fold. Draw the elbows out to the side. Let the head get heavy, crown of head descend down. See if you can glue your ribs to the thighs. You can deepen by pulling elbows out to side, but can you still keep space in the neck? So draw shoulders away from ears. With the connection of ribs to thighs, you might start to straighten the legs a little bit. Breathe. And then find a half lift. Keeping the bind of the peace fingers around the big toes, start to toe heel your feet a little bit wider. Point the toes out, the heels in. Start to sink into Malasana. You can press the big toe into the earth to help counterbalance with this little clasp. Just see what that transition is like. Once you arrive, find your Malasana, and this time see if you can settle in for 3 breaths. Even as the weight descends towards the sit bones, can you still find a little lift of the pelvic floor? Lift the heart into the thumbs. 1 more breath. Release the hands, lift the hips, forward fold. Toe heel the feet in, take a nice half lift to regulate, and exhale to fold. Slowly roll yourself up. All right, we're moving into a little standing balance series. Yogi's choice, still at the back of the mat. Start to ground into your left foot. Lift your right leg up to a 90-degree bend. So I'm mirroring you. Take your right hand to the front of the knee. Left hand to hip. Anchor your drishti, your gaze on one spot. This will help with stability. Now you can keep your leg at a 90-degree bend the whole time, or if your hamstrings feel warm and open enough, maybe you grab peace finger to big toe. Still stack the shoulders over the hips. Start to straighten the right leg out. You can keep a micro bend in the knee, or maybe you take a deeper extension. Find what works in your body. Option to stay here, open the right leg out to the side, left arm out to the side. Maybe challenge your balance by looking over the left fingers. As you have this open hip variation, can you still scoop your right hip down and forward, keep your heart lifted? 1 more breath. And come back to center. Option to float the leg, reach the arms up for 3, 2, 1, and release. Notice what's happening on that side of the body. Pause. Then we'll move into our other side. Ground your right sole of the foot down. Lift your left leg up to a 90-degree bend. You can grab left hand to front of knee, right hand to hip. Breathe here, shoulders stacked over hips. Steady your gaze, your drishti. Option to take the extension, hand to big toe, wrapping peace fingers around the big toe. You can straighten the leg. If you're doing this, notice if you're hunching the upper back, pull the right shoulder back. So your shoulders are still square to the front of the mat. Wrap your outer left hip down. Stay here, open up the hip. Left leg swings out to the left, right arm extends out. Maybe gaze over right shoulder, right fingers. Can you still scoop the left hip down and forward? Lift the heart for 3, 2, 1. Come back to center. Option to hover here for 3. Try not to lean back for 2. 1 more. Release. Pause. Notice. Maybe 1 hand on heart, 1 hand on belly. On your next inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold all the way down. Half lift. Walk it out to your down dog. Option to rinse through vinyasa as you wish. We'll meet here in about 2 to 3 breaths. We have our last krama to go. Similar to before, but we'll just add on. When you're ready, right leg rises, 1 breath. Open up the hip. Square it off. Step the foot between the hands. Rise to your crescent lunge. Reach the arms forward and up. Exhale opens you to warrior two. Breath and body moving here. Flip the front palm up. Find reverse warrior. Move as slow as you desire. Exhale carries you to extended side angle. Yogi's variation. Roll the top shoulder back. Release both hands down, pivot the back toes out, Skandasana, open arm twist, left arm grounds, right arm reaches up. All right, here's where things change up. Plant the hands, walk them towards the front of the mat, all 10 toes face forward, pause in a runner's lunge. Left hand grounds, right arm sweeps up for your revolved lunge. Staying here for 3 breaths in this twist. Now there's a couple choices here. You can step back into your side plank or pivot onto the knife edge of the back foot and toe heel your right foot towards the midline. Or you can drop the back knee, swivel your shin out to the side as you step the right foot back into that supported side plank that we did earlier in our warm-ups. So over the next few breaths, find your side plank variation. We will have some play to add on. If you're in side plank, reach the right arm over the head, float the right leg up, exhale, elbow to knee. And you can do this a couple times. If you want to take this into another variation, hand to big toe. Where we'll move to is slowly drawing right foot to the front of the mat. And you can also do this in the bent knee variation, grabbing onto your leg, drawing it forward, and then ushering it forward, back into your runner's lunge. Take a couple breaths if you're still playing with those transitions or variations. Otherwise, we'll meet in our runner's lunge. If you get there early, we'll do some pulses, bend the back knee, lift the heart. Exhale to straighten the front leg, bow forward. And a couple times, bending and extending. See if you can move slowly, like moving through honey. Once more. All right, mindful transition again. Bend into your front leg, get light on your back leg, and just draw your knee inward. Plant your shin. Your shin kind of works like a little braking mechanism. Start to sink the hips down. We're setting up for a seated twist. Now, if both sit bones don't reach the earth, go ahead and swing the bottom leg straight. Lift the heart. Plant your right hand behind you, reach left arm up. On your exhale, twist, either hooking the elbow or hugging the leg. If you have the both knees bent variation, just make sure that both sit bones are on the earth. Soften shoulders away from ears. Slowly unravel your twist, just for a moment, counter twist to the other side. If your bottom leg is straight, go ahead and bend it. Everybody rock onto your left hip slightly, and then swing your right leg all the way and open into a half straddle. Take a moment to adjust, move the fleshy parts of the sit bones away. Rotate towards your extended leg. And then as you exhale, melt your heart towards your extended leg, your half straddle. Couple breaths here, let the collarbones broaden. Keep the heart open. Lift the torso, turn the torso to the other side. Right hand comes to the knee, left arm reaches up and over for a side stretch. Now a few options. You can kind of hold on to your leg and usher a twist, or you can press your right elbow into the inner thigh, helping spiral the heart to the sky. Maybe you grab on to the foot And gaze under the left armpit, or you can take a half bind with your top arm. So, different variations, different strokes for different folks. Take what you need. One more breath. On your next exhale, we'll all windmill the arms towards the front of the mat, and then pivot to face the front of the mat like you're coming into a plank. Send your left leg long and back, three-legged dog. Rinse through a vinyasa. Down dog is where we meet for our final side. Take a cleansing breath. Let it go. When you're ready, left leg rises. One breath opens up the hip. Square the hips off, inhale. Exhale to step the foot forward. Inhale, crescent lunge. One breath, move slowly. Exhale, open up warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. Flip your left palm up, find reverse warrior. Extended side angle, Parshva Konasana, left arm to inner thigh or right arm sweeps up. Roll the top shoulder back. Skandasana, hands to earth, pivot back toes out. Open arm twist. Right hand down, left arm up. Here's where we slow it down and switch it up. Take your hands, walk them to the front of the mat, runner's lunge. Right hand down, left arm up, revolved lunge. And work into this twist. So what we're moving into next is one of those variations of side plank. Yogi's choice. You can always drop the knee down here, especially if you know you're going to one of the knee grounded variations. And so when you're ready, you can step it back into your side plank, supported. You can take the elbow to knee variations, peace finger to big toe. If you're going in the Vasisthasana side plank variation, lift it up. And then eventually you're going to draw the foot all the way to the front of the mat and find a runner's lunge, hands framing the front foot. And again, play with this. You can use your whole hand to move the whole leg up there. Take the bricks, earth up to you as you need. Pulses here. Drop the back knee, lift the heart. Exhale, straighten. Couple times. And straighten. Here we go, mindful transition again. Start to ground into your front foot, and the back foot springs forward. Use the shin as a little brake pad. Settle your sit bones down. You can use your hands for support. You might have to adjust the stance slightly. Both sit bones are grounded. Again, always an option, especially if your hips are tight, to swivel the bottom leg out. Let the spine get nice and long. Plant the left hand behind you, right arm up, big inhale. Exhale to hook the elbow or hug the leg. Find your seated twist. If it doesn't hurt your neck, you can look over left shoulder. One more breath. Take your counter twist as desired. Rinse it out the other way. And come back. If your bottom leg is extended, kick the heel back. Lean onto your right hip as you swing left leg open. Half straddle. Take a moment to adjust. Let your sit bones root. And then shift your torso towards your long leg. Lift the heart and fold over your extended leg. Think every inhale, spine nice and long, space between each vertebrae. Every exhale, this bowing inward. Honoring your own rhythms and cycles, your own transitions, this body for all of the transition it's capable of, not just in asana, but in life. Lift your torso to center. Left hand to right knee, right arm up and over to crescent. Side stretch. And again, you can take some variations here if it helps. Open the chest to the sky. Maybe the elbow presses into leg. Maybe there's a side foot clasp or a half bind. Notice what comes up when you are given all these options, if there's a grasping towards a certainty. And can we be with the transition, the movement, the options, the cycles? Take one more breath. On your exhale, windmill the arms towards the front of the mat. Pivot, tuck the back toes. Right leg long and back. Rinse through your final vinyasa. We'll meet in a child's pose. Slowly drape your torso up. Scoot your hips to one side and send the legs long in front of you. Make sure your sit bones are supported, but take the soles of the feet, butterfly the knees out. If you're rocking onto the backs of the sit bones, this might be a nice sign to sit up on a blanket or roll your mat. Start to give your feet a little massage, a little sense of grounding. Sometimes when we are confronted with uncertainty or change, it can leave us with a sense of ungroundedness. So can we activate the soles of the feet, this whole map of all the organs and our connection to the earth? Just give ourselves a little grounding foot massage. You can stay as you are or fold inward. Slowly come up, take the knees outside, or the hands outside the knees, close them. Take your hands behind you, feet as wide as the mat, windshield wiper side to side. If you want a little pressure into the outer glutes, a little massage, you can lift the heels up. If you have a tennis ball or a little rubber ball, those myofascial release balls, you can also kind of play with that on the outer glutes. Release the feet. Make sure you're near the center of the mat. Maybe grab onto a brick. Roll yourself onto your back. Yogi's choice for a little counter pose. You can take a supported bridge, supported waterfall, putting the brick on any setting of your desire underneath the sacrum, so where that little triangle is in the low back. You can also move into a non-supported bridge, shins straight up and down. Just lift your hips to the sky. Breathe opening into the heart, the chest. Option to stay or send the legs up to the sky for waterfall. Gentle inversion, really restoring for the system, the body. You can take this into a straddle, opening hips and hamstrings. And come back to center. Slowly come on off of your support if you took this variation. Hug both knees to the chest. We'll rock side to side or forward and back. And take one final supine twist of choice. You can hug right knee into chest, extend left leg long, let the leg cross over the body or something else. Enjoy a big rinse water breath, a little bit of clearing, and see if you can tap into your exhale as a settling. allowing the movement of the practice to settle, the transitions. Come back through center, switch sides. Final ringing out. Slowly come back to center. Hug both knees into the chest. If there's anything else you're missing in your practice, please honor that. Otherwise, give yourself a squeeze of gratitude for moving through transition, for being with change. And then slowly release everything heavy to the earth. The legs be heavy, the arms in a low V, palms up, in this gesture of receiving, accepting what unfolds. I'll leave you in Shavasana to enjoy as long as you wish. You may consider pausing or muting just so Shavasana doesn't seep into another video. May all beings be happy and free. Aloka, samasta, sukhino, bhavantu.